friend, welcome to Ask Dr. Betters. Daniel wants to know, could I shine some light on the evolution of the institution of marriage? Polygamy was accepted in the Old Testament. I imagine that incest was too in the times of Adam and Eve, since their family was the only ones that existed and had been commanded to be fruitful and multiply. None of this is acceptable to God anymore. Well, you're right when you say nothing in Scripture, none of this is acceptable to God anymore. Certainly polygamy is not, incest is not, multiple divorces is not acceptable to God. Well, here's a story that I believe will help clear it up for you. When Jesus was confronted with what I'm going to call the Democrats and the Republicans in a critical time where they're trying to trap him. They're looking for a soundbite that they can use against him. So they come to him and they say, is it right to divorce a wife for any reason? And there was a group, I don't know whether they were the Democrats or the Republicans, there was a group that believed that a man could divorce his wife if she burned the toast for any reason. If he just wasn't satisfied with her anymore, put her away. If she spoke to him in a bad tone, he can divorce her. So a man could go down to the local courthouse, write a bill of divorcement for any reason, hand it to his wife, and she would be then put out, and she would be divorced. There was another camp that believed there were other reasons why a man could divorce his wife, and only those reasons. So I want to read this to you. It says there, Jesus answers the question, therefore a man shall leave his father and mother, hold fast to his wife, singular, and the two shall become one. So they are no longer two, but one flesh. Not multiple wives, not more than two, not 5, not 10, no polygamy there. What therefore God has joined together, let not man separate. That was his answer. The two shall become one. But they said to him, why then did Moses command one to give a certificate of divorce and send her away? He said to them, because of your hardness of heart, Moses allowed you to divorce your wives, but not from the beginning. From the beginning it was not so. And I say to you, whoever divorces his wife, except for sexual immorality, and marries another, commits adultery. So this is where the other political party weighs in. They say, but wait a minute. Moses did permit men to divorce their wives. And why did he do that? Why did Moses permit a man to get a bill of divorcement written? And Jesus confronts them and says, I want to take you back to the beginning. I want to go back to the creative order, all the way back to before Adam and Eve, when God created man in his own image and likeness. From the beginning, it was not so. One man, one woman, one lifetime. But as the world continued and evil continued with it, more and more sin entered the world. That's where polygamy comes from, sin. That's where incest comes from, sin. Now, in the beginning, there was incest because to populate the earth, man communicated sexually with members of his own family. But because sin had not run its course, the damage done by incestual relationships was not known for years to come. Later, there would be clear prohibitions against both polygamy and incest. And only certain grounds, very strict grounds, for even divorce. But from the beginning, it was not so. So when we're talking about marriage, we're talking about God's purpose for marriage is one man, one woman, one lifetime. And there are many, many scriptures that commend that. When you study polygamous relationships in the Bible, you see they all end in disaster. Look at the children of Jacob and Israel. Look at the 12 tribes. Look at the wars caused by multiple marriages, ancestral relationships, men marrying more than one wife, and the wives turning on each other. It's clear a picture of disaster. In David's life, look what happened when he married Bathsheba and put away his wife. Look at the consequences. He even lost a child over it. So there are serious consequences that the Bible does not hide when it talks about polygamy. So let's not look at it and say God commends polygamy. Just because it's there in the Bible doesn't mean God is commending it. In fact, he condemns it. I hope this helps you understand it better.
Hi, my name is Melissa Weisenfels, Executive Director here at MARKINC Ministries. Thank you so very much for your continued support of this video series. Ask Dr. Betters is not meant to be a substitute for professional counseling, but instead is designed to extract biblical principles around the questions being asked. We encourage you to seek professional counseling if needed.